Hello, Computer Studies 10. We are back with more animating sprites, and I hope you're enjoying this project. This will probably be the last video of the series, and after you're done making the character jump, the final bits are to just sort of continue animating the character using this knowledge and see what other actions your sprite sheet has, and make a few more interruptible or non-interruptible actions as you see fit. Okay, so that's going to be the end. The last thing we have to do is to make the character jump in terms of their costumes as well as their movement. And I do have a quick change to make from the last video. So I've been playing with it, and I find that in the new version of Scratch, there's some lag in terms of getting the movement sprite and the costume sprite to sync up. So I've made a slight change to this script, and you can see the change here. In our last video, the jumping, this is in the movement sprite, by the way, not the costume sprite. I made it so that there was an if statement here for pressing the up arrow or whatever key you want to use for jumping. And that key, it was like if key press, set velocity, jump velocity to 20. So I've now moved that over here to a broadcast. I'll just zoom in so you can see. I've changed it to when I receive jump, set velocity jump. So no longer is it in this script. And I don't have to include, that's good. So it's no longer in this script. I've just made a separate script where I broadcast jump, and then that's what happens. So please make that change as well. I think you'll find that it works a lot better. I think everything else has stayed the same in the movement script. Now let's go over to the costume script, and I'll show you what my jump costume looks like and where I broadcast jump from. So if I go over to the costume sprite, here is my jump script. So there's a few things. First of all, this is a non-interruptible action, and we want to make sure that we're not interrupting other non-interruptible actions as well. So I have this if statement to say, it's not axe kick and it's not jump. Those are my other two actions. I mean, jump is this action, but I don't want to jump while I'm jumping, so that makes sense, right? If you wanted to do a double jump, then you'd have to change that a little bit, but effectively, this is the way to do it. So then, of course, this is very similar to everything you've seen before with a little bit of a difference. It gets a little different with this wait until. But take a look. We'll just go through it and remind you because it might have been a while since you've done it. So first of all, I set my action to jump. That will interrupt the interruptible actions. And then we'll set it up so that I don't interrupt the jump. And then this is where I broadcast jump right here. I send the message over to the motion sprite to say, hey, we're jumping. And that way I only do it when I've cleared this if statement, right? When this is true, when I'm not doing these things, that's when I can do it. Then I don't have to worry about synchronizing anything. It all works out smoothly that way. All right, next I just do a little bit of changing costumes. Mine are a little different, and I got lazy. I didn't use a repeat loop. I just did two. Basically, I go through two actions, and then I want him to hold the pose while he's jumping. He's got his leg up in the air, and he's flying through. So I do these two things, but I don't want to go right back to the end of it. So then I wait until he hits the ground again. So basically he holds that pose until he hits the ground. And this Y position, it might not be your Y position. It's up to you what that number is, but it's going to sort of be determined by your movement sprite. So, these numbers are already kind of baked into whatever you're doing with your character here. And you can see that it'll all sort of work together in the same way. So that's great. And then what happens after this wait until? Well, that means once this wait until becomes true and we stop waiting, that means we've hit the ground again. So that's when I want to do a little landing animation, and your sprite sheet might not support this, or it might have an elaborate landing animation for all I know. So this is where you would put a landing animation, and here I used a repeat loop, so I'm not sure why I didn't use a repeat loop here, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, and then at the end I set action back to idle. I have to do it manually because, let's just zoom out, because it's a non-interruptible action. And that's the same with the axe kick, right? I had to manually set action back to idle. Oof, I'm getting dizzy with moving things around, zoomed in. So that's the story behind my script, and yours will probably be a bit different, just like your other scripts, because your costume is your sprite sheet, sorry, is different. So you'll have to adjust and adapt it, but hopefully that makes sense of what those steps were that I did, and hopefully that'll help you to coordinate yours. So I hope you're having success with this project. I know that it's a tricky one, so let me know if I can help out, and I will be standing by to take your questions. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.